morning and welcome to this week's Market Carver. Hope you had an outstanding Memorial Day weekend. Looks like our friends in Lafayette had great weather. Those of us on the Anderson side had a little bit of rain, but hey, it was a beautiful weekend all in all. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you remembered the people in your lives that we have lost, and said thanks to the ones that have obviously served so that we could have the world that we have. A lot of the information today is really coming out of Washington, and it's important stuff. As our market technician, Andrew Thrasher, reminds us, I believe the year is 1946, that there's not been a third-year presidential term where in the second part of the term, in the third year, where the market has actually been negative going back, I believe, to 1946. And that's because they with reckless abandon, they can try to do deals on either side of the party and really try to get stuff done. Right now we're seeing that out of the White House through and through. So in case you missed it, there's a trade deal that is trying to be in place. Obama's in favor of getting a Pacific deal done with about 12 different countries. And the Senate just gave him essentially permission, 62-38 vote, to fast track that deal. Well, the question is from a lot of people, does this really matter? And the answer is yes. We have about 20 countries now that we have trade agreements with, including Canada and Mexico that came along in 1994 and Australia back in 2005. A full 47%, almost half of all the goods that we export out of the United States go to those 20 countries. So yes, it matters a great deal. Kudos for trying to get that deal done. On another note, Obama has made a pitch, if you will, for his budget proposal to increase money on highways and the transit system around the United States. And, you know, that provides jobs. I'm not sure I want to drive through any traffic zones, but, you know, it's stuff that needs to be done. We do have an infrastructure that needs to be prepared. One of the ways that he's trying to get that done is by letting companies that have money overseas, about $2 trillion in earnings that are over there, and let them repatriate that back to the United States. It's going to cost them 14% in tax to move it, which is a far cry less than what it is right now. Additionally, if they don't do it right now, if the deal gets through, they'll have to pay 19% in the future. That could really be a boom and a windfall to the taxpayers, to our United States economy. So good things are happening inside of there. Now, on the bad news coming out of the IRS, there were over 100,000 federal tax returns that were stolen by a cybersecurity scheme. Yours truly was actually one of the 100,000 that they found. The bad news, good news for me, bad news is they paid out $50 million in refund money out of the IRS before they caught the scheme. Fortunately, I wasn't part of that deal. They caught it before any money ever left the system. One of our longtime friends of the firm actually sent us a thing from the state of Indiana. We had an 11% fraud rate on our tax return last year. When you're seeing those kind of numbers, there's going to have to be something in the future that tries to slow this down, contain it in a little better direction. Last thing I want to bring up is Yellen and Bernanke, and just talk about what's going on inside of the Federal Reserve, if you will. Again, we're in Washington, but remember, the Federal Reserve is not truly a government entity. They are a group of bankers, if you will. Bernanke was the first one to ever have a noteworthy status. Remember, Paul Volcker was actually the Fed chairman before Bernanke. People don't remember that because we didn't have a CNBC and a news channel in it. They just didn't make the headline. So Greenspan was really the first rock star. As we've talked about before, the average bull market lasts about 59 months. And in the 74th month of the bull market, was December of 1996, and Alan Greenspan issued the speech, The Irrational Exuberance. And we all know that the equity markets went, ah, and then what happened? Well, between the end of 1996 and March of 2000, the market did more than double again until it popped with a tech wreck in March of 2000. A few weeks ago, Janet Yellen issued that same response, if you will, said that equity prices are overvalued. And are they a little frothy? In some ways, they surely really are, but they were in 1996 as well. But we happen to have been in the 74th month of the bull market that we're in right now. Very, very coincidental periods of time. We are concerned about what's going to go on in the month of volatilities here in the summer, but it's stuff that we just need to watch. Now, the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen and company, have two mandates that came out of 1978. One was for normal price appreciation, which means keeping inflation in check. Remember, it was 1978, so the concept of deflation didn't even occur, right? Keep the inflation in check, and secondly, full employment, whatever that is. But it means an unemployment rate somewhere between 4 and 4.5%. So you've been hearing the Federal Reserve talk about jobs in inflation and trying to spur the economy along. So they're looking at all of the data, and there's two things that are on our radar right now. One is housing is going nuts again. We don't know how long this will be lived, but if you have a house for sale, I hope you live in Denver, the average day on the market is 8 days from the time they list it to the time they sell it. Seattle, it's like 15 days. So there's not near the supply as there is the demand for existing housing. That's obviously a little hotter than what one would expect, and can show some signs of some frothiness inside of the U.S. economy, if you will, at least within housing. And Janet Yellen and a few others at the Federal Reserve have made it known they're concerned about creating an asset price bubble in the equity markets, and they shouldn't be concerned whether or not they did it. We all know they did it from the QE programs that clearly stimulated it. The question is, can they take the punch away from the party, if you will, without the bubble bursting too rapidly or too painfully? That's what we're going to have to watch for in the discussion. So a lot of interesting stuff today. I hope you enjoyed it. We're obviously in interesting times in the middle of a summer month, but as always, we will stay on top of it. Hey, if you're out and about, don't forget to catch the radio show Saturday morning, 9 to 10 on WQME, 10 to 11 on Sunday mornings on Shine 99, 4 to 5 p.m. afternoon on WILO on Thursdays. If there's anything we can do to be of service at all, please don't hesitate to let us know. Have a great summer, and we'll see you again soon.